Why am I here? A profound thing happened between some of the experiences that we had, and I figured I'd share them with you. See, something new was coming over me the morning we spoke with Dr. DeMartini. It was a Friday. And in that conversation, I sat before a man who I have deep respect for, who's been on a similar journey to me, only his has gone on for 5 decades. He's so bright, so smart, so loving, and so giving. And he has all the knowledge in the world. But for me, something was missing. And here lies why we all have our own perspectives. In life, we gather inspiration, but we have to just apply it to ourselves to see what sticks, to claim what's ours. In that conversation with John, on top of this experience that I was feeling from the inside out, it became clear what's mine. It became clear what is me. We had our conversation, and towards the end, we discussed seeing signs and symbols everywhere. And he talked about the extreme of that. He talked about a mania that can come about from seeing the divinity in all things, how it can throw somebody off center. I explicitly remember he said, it's like seeing a bee fly by and calling it divine.
I believe we have a knowing inside that we can access. Now there's hyper-religiosity when you have temporal lobe epilepsy and you activate the temporal parietal junction near the occipital junction. There, if you stimulate that, you can get hyper-religiosity and you think, well, there's order to everything. A bee goes by and there's a meaning behind it. This is something that transcends those manic illusions of the amygdala. This is a moment of integration and integrity and a knowing.
And that immediately brought me back to our episode with Jai, where we're going from one sign, symbol, and synchronicity to the next, culminating on the bee, the buzzing, the song of life, how it's always playing in that dance between being and becoming.
One other thing that I know about the Hawthorns is that they're all about singing, vibrations, frequency. Like the Hawthorns, if you look up the Hawthorns, they're like this collective that stargate, star seeds that channel this song. It's the song of the mother. And I channel that through my songs. So
Yeah.
so this is
Let me continue this.
yes,
So
yes.
in Hebrew, the name Deborah, which is very similar, Deborah means a bee. And so it's literally the buzzing, the vibration, the sound, the song. The beautiful thing too is you literally live in an unfinished house. You live in an unfinished house, carrying in Horus, right? So if you think about, going back to the poem here, right? Becoming is the song. Your house is becoming. And so the bee is playing the song of becoming. Being is becoming.
That's so crazy.
So cool. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So cool.
Wow. This was amazing.
Yeah. That song, that liminal space, that tightrope between exploration and closure, that to me is where I'm from. And it's where I'm going, and it's where I've always been. It's the Tao, it's the dance, it's the way. See, I don't really know what happened or what's going to happen, but I am here now. And every time we meet, that's really the only thing I'm sure of. I was reflecting on the bee after speaking with John. That was a special conversation for me because I revere the man deeply. But I started to recognize where our paths were different, where mine was my own. I was walking, waiting for something to hit me. And all of a sudden, a foreign man walks by and just shouts 42 into his phone. And I bit. I bit because I wanted to test if the signs and symbols and that path is for me. Because something about that play with life has spoken to me on deep levels, and I just feel it reverberate every time I lean in. So I explore 42. And the immediate number that'll come to somebody, if they've read the book, is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where one discovers that the answer to life is 42. But the cosmic joke is that nobody knows the question. And that's stuck. It's also a theme I explored when speaking with John, with Dr. DeMartini. What if life itself is the answer to a question? Or what if life itself asks the question that creates meaning for what is the source of everything? The truth is, it doesn't matter which way it goes. Profound realization for me, because both are necessary. But as I looked deeper into 42, something beautiful emerged. I found that there was this prayer called the Ana Bakoach. It's a Hebrew prayer. It has a Kabbalistic code in it, where the lines and the letters come together for these sacred sounds that help one release their soul from its self-inflicted prison to get a peek at what it's like to be back in infinity. How fitting, right? But for me, when I came across the code to the poem, the prayer, I realized that I knew a specific meditation to do with it. And so I sat in my room, I had a moment to myself, and I let myself experience what was waiting for me. I opened up back to a place that I'm familiar with. And from that return, I was recalibrated out of the noise, out of the nonsense, out of everything I had been doing until that point. I returned back to my essence, to the thing I know more than anything else, to my greatest shadow, but my ultimate gift. And so, my experience waved over me, but I was experiencing ripples of it for days. And so, I remembered that my dad, he always listens to this prayer, but in song form. And so I went to go find the video to comfort myself, to calm myself, to come down from what I had just experienced, to ground myself. And so I pressed the clip, the video, and the most beautiful song just overcomes me. And as I watch the video, the very first thing you see is a flower, and all of a sudden, it's met by a bee in slow motion, and it flies away. And this kiss from the universe reminded me that the beauty is always there, only if you look for it. But what you have to do is let go of the intellect. Let go of everything you learned. And allow yourself to move forward even though logic tells you otherwise. Even though the science tells you otherwise. That's the last gate. That's the da'ath on the tree. That's the last threshold before you return to who you are. You have to know inside you so deeply that you're willing to experience a life full of illusions, telling you you're wrong, telling you you're crazy, telling you you're manic. You need to know so deeply inside you that you're willing to walk past any of it, to stand in your truth. I mourned this experience, an experience of knowing breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And in many ways, I do think I'm here to figure that out. A personal path that maybe others share. It's not what I expected. It's not what I expected. The amount of 42s I saw after that, the amount of magical signs and symbols that came to me, it was beautiful. It was symmetrical. It was flow, it was dance, it was play. But all of a sudden, the mystery was gone from it. The seeking was gone from it. Because from that place of knowing, the magic had to be me. And for the magic to be me, I can't experience it. The knife can't cut itself. I'm still sitting with this. And for days, it's been weeks now, I've been trying to understand how the rug just got swept from under me. I had this intellectual inertia, this drive, this force, this clarity, And all of a sudden, I just have nothing to say. I'm still in this space, this liminal space. And I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to give intellectual information. That's not why I'm here. I'm just going to show up and be true, and something about having you in on it with me reminds me that it's just going to be all right. And that's kind of all I have to do. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for making it this far with me. Thank you for exploring. Thank you for keeping your ears open. Inspire me to be a better man. You inspire me to be raw. You inspire me to stop thinking so much and just be. I think my very being is what becomes. And if that's in my nature, I can probably stop worrying so much. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you. I love you.